Thank you, everybody. Please sit down. And how about a hand for Dave Karger? This is kind of like the interview equivalent of speed dating, what you're doing tonight. And it's not easy to do, but he made it look easy, and that's no small achievement, so congratulations for that. This assemblage of talent is pretty daunting and exciting too. But it's fascinating to me that every year when we get to this awards season, we are introduced to people we didn't know just a year or two earlier. Think about it. And every year, those people become part of they come onto our radar, they become part of our awareness, and we start looking to see what they're doing next. What's the next movie down the line? And so the talent pool grows and grows and grows. And that shows that there's no shortage of talent. And there's no end to the people that we need to know and need to be exposed to. And I'm talking on both sides of the camera too. So to the actors who are here who have been at it a little bit longer, they've shown us different colors this year and different facets of themselves and their talent. And that's equally exciting. So I'm very honored to be here to just act as kind of a ringmaster to officially honor these virtuosos. And we have people who will come out and give you your actual awards, but I'm going to do the listing here alphabetically because that just seems the fairest way to do it. And because Elizabeth Banks slipped me a $5 backstage. So we'll start with Elizabeth Banks, who is, we all know how talented she is, and we know the range that she has, but this part, in Love and Mercy, she showed us something we haven't seen before. And have you ever played a real person before, a real life person before? I don't know.
Laura Bush.
That's right. And this lady is no Laura Bush. Fascinating character, a real person, and she made it seem real and genuine. And that's why we're honoring her tonight, Miss Elizabeth Banks. No, mystery people are coming. No, you're going to get your own.
Well, this one has my name on it, Leonard.
Take it.
Okay.
The phrase was used before that Paul Dano seemed to be channeling Brian Wilson, and I don't know of a better way to describe what he did, and I don't know how he does it or did it. I just know as a viewer, it was just utterly fascinating and compelling and heartbreaking, and what more could you ask out of a performance? And yet, I never saw the wheels turning. I never thought, well, that's an actor pretending to be Brian Wilson. I was just swept up in what he was doing, and it's an amazing piece of work in an amazing movie. And he's given so many fine performances, and let's not forget Youth, another extraordinary film this year. So for those reasons and more, congratulations, Paul Dano. Thank you. And what do we do for Joel Edgerton? Do we give it to you, Dave? Do you pack it up, take it to the UPS store? How do we do that?
We'll make sure he gets it.
All right. Well, then officially, let's say it out loud and give him a round of applause. An extraordinarily talented fellow, Joel Edgerton. And I still don't know how he and Benedict Cumberbatch nailed those Boston accents. I'll never get over that. I think it's fair to say that a year ago, unless you were following hip-hop intently, you might not have heard of O'Shea Jackson Jr. But we know who he is now. And we know what an incredible, and again, believable, credible performance he gave as his own father in Straight Outta Compton, the film that should be nominated for an Academy Award this year. And though I'm sorry that you didn't get to experience that honor for your father, what you said tonight is the equivalent of him getting that award. And it was very touching, and I think we're all very moved by that. So please, a Virtuoso Award for O'Shea Jackson Jr. If you've seen Son of Saul, you've had one of the most unusual and forceful movie-going experiences of the past year. If you haven't seen it yet, you should. It's an exceptional piece of filmmaking, and the filmmaker is a newcomer to the world of feature films, Laszlo Nemes. Unbelievable piece of work, but the camera for the entirety of the film is on that man, Geza Rohrig. And it's what we see in his face that tells the story, as Dave was saying. You know, we don't see the background is kept in the background deliberately. It's a most unusual approach to this, you know, this subject matter. So what carries the film, and what makes the film so extraordinary is watching him. And what he's able to do and what we read into what he conveys to us with just his face and his body language as well. Geza Rohrig is somebody we didn't know of just 1 year ago. We sure know who he is now. A Virtuoso Award for Geza Rohrig. And poor Jacob Tremblay, sitting there waiting to be discovered, you know, toughing out, you know, the early years, until somebody had the good sense to hire him to co-star with Brie Larson in the movie Room. So good on you, Lenny Abramson. Good choice. And everything else we pass along to Jacob himself, because he's not only given a great performance in a very difficult role, in a very challenging movie, but he's proven to be one of the highlights of this award season with his candor and his disarming answers to anybody's questions. So Jacob, congratulations, and here's your Virtuoso Award. Of course, it's just circumstance. You shoot films and they don't always come out on a regular basis, spaced out evenly, but it seems as if this has been your year, our year really, our year to discover you. I mean, I think the first time I saw you was in A Royal Affair several years ago, and some of you folks did too, and a fine movie that is. But in terms of introducing herself to us, can you imagine a broader spectrum of possibilities than being that robot in Ex Machina, that sly, intriguing robot in Ex Machina, and this incredible woman who loves her husband so dearly and has to find a way to accept and, if possible, continue loving him through his journey in The Danish Girl. And she does all that. And I can't wait to see what she has to show us next. A wonderful actress who is still fairly new on the landscape, but here for a long time to stay, Alicia Vikander. These are this year's Virtuosos at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival.